Hey everybody, it's Ivory from Brooke.
What's going on, everybody? This is Matt from Brocco.
Yeah, in today's installation, this series, we're going to talk about barbershop talk. Is it helpful or hurtful? Now, man, I know like you and we both been going to the barbershop for a very long time. Even when I had more hair on my head, we've been going to the barbershop for a very long time in the Black community. And I mean, it's kind of like a place. It's like kind of like those one places where Black men can go, or just people from all groups can come and just have a safe place to talk about men's issues. So we're going to talk a little bit about that today. Is it helpful or is it hurtful or is it a combination of both?
Mhm. Yeah,
So
yeah,
let's get started.
yeah, man. Let's kind of talk about like, why is it hurtful first? The first thing that come to mind, man, like I just gotta call it out, man. We gotta talk about the experience sometimes, man. Like, I don't know about you, Ivory, but I know for me as I got older, it was harder sometimes because when you younger, you kind of go in, you're like, hey man, my barber's name was James, man. He was cool, man, good people, man. So if I ever grow my hair back, I'm going straight back to him. But sometimes you be in there, you walk in, hey James, you got me next. Yeah, man, I got Isaac, Johnny, and then Johnny got his 3 kids, man. You in there all day, bro. You get there at 2 p.m., bro. You get back home at 7. Your mom drop you off or you walk there, and then so sometimes it's like it was hard, man. You gotta have cash. You can't use the eight, you can't use debit or credit, now with Cash App is a little bit better, but it's like, man, you be in there all day, man. You can't make appointments for some of them, man. It'd be kind of chaotic sometimes for me, man. I don't know about you.
Yeah, no, I same experience. I would add, I remember my first experience at a barber shop. I was probably 8 or 9 years old because up until that time, my dad used to cut our hair and he used to like, man, he was messing our, he was just practicing on us, bro. He just had some clippers. He was just clipping, bro. He wasn't really lining us up. It was like the line be like just straight, you know what I'm saying? No type of finesse on them clippers, bro. And it was terrible, bro. And so that's when we got a little bit older. We started noticing our parents really couldn't afford going for us to go to the barbershop. But we started having our own little money because we used to hustle. We used to shovel snow and sell candy and things like that to make a little money. And that's when I started going to the barbershops. I was probably around 9 or 10 years old. And as I went to the barbershop, I knew first things first, it was nothing but men in the barbershop. And that was like one of the first experiences I had with like different kinds of men, right? You had some guys, they went in there, they were like loud, rambunctious. They were just kind of like, male bravado. I heard a lot of like negative stuff. Like people talk about women, they talk about sports, they talk about drugs, they talk about game related stuff, what they did last night at the club. It was just so much stuff that I heard that a 9, 10-year-old boy, man, to be honest, I had no business hearing some of that stuff. But I noticed quickly that the barbershop was like a safe place for brothers to go and talk freely without like feeling shame or guilt or some type of condemnation. So it just seemed like it was a safe haven for guys.
Yeah, I mean, it was a safe haven, man. But I mean, it was for me, man. It was always like a unique place, man. You will see like you go in there, man. It's the one place where you see like a class of different men all in one who have to, get in the same service. So, you got the politician might come in there every now and then, the businessman, the entrepreneur, you know, the street dude just got out, what I'm saying? Like the dude just selling products in there, man. And I think the thing about it, like you said, Ivory, man, sometimes those conversations will get heated, man. And then, it'll start off, man, because the one thing that was always a thing, bro. It'd always be like, depending on what time you got there. Sometimes I get there after school like 3:34, like 4:30. So Stephen A. Smith or some of them might be on TV and stuff like that. And sports, man, you just having a lighthearted conversation about sports. You sitting there, you in the chair 5 minutes later, bro. Bro, Kobe is not better than LeBron, bro. On
Yeah.
God, bro. On
Yeah.
God. Like it get real heated, man. He's like, dang, next thing you know, they cussing each other out. He called them all kind of MFers and stuff like that. And it's not even that serious. Like they're not even really mad at each other. They just over talking, So it was just always like a unique place, man, with that. But the reason why I say sometimes it can kind of be hurtful, and the reason I say that sometimes it's just more so about like it's a place where positive things will be brought up, but it's also a place where negative stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, man, what happened, man? Bro, I've been scamming, bro. Like, shoot, bro, I've been scheming. Like, dang, bro, this dude openly talking about you at the barber, dude talking about how, yeah, I just did like 9 months, bro. I robbed my man's. I'm like, dang, bro, let me get up out of here, bro. I don't trust my man. You know.
Yeah, no, I can relate to that as well. Yeah, it became like a safe haven in a negative way because people could be open to share like criminal activity, or they'd be open to share, some type of frivolous thing that they're doing because it was like a no judgment zone. It was a no judgment zone place. So, like, yeah, I mean, it could be hurtful in a way because if you're a young guy growing up, going to the barbershop, you're hearing all these things and you're being influenced by some of the stuff that you hear, and you can't help but to internalize some of that because these are some of the guys in your community that you look up to. Maybe you see them on a week out basis getting your hair cut. Maybe they may say something to you or not, and it could be potentially not helpful because, like I said, for me, I remember the first time I had a really negative experience at the barbershop. I was getting my hair cut, and you just had a lot of guys in the barbershop. And I mean, it was like the storefront. So they didn't have no back door where you can escape route, right? So the escape sign, it wasn't that. It was just one way in and one way out. So I was always nervous about that. But I remember one time, like a dude brought a gun into the barbershop and there was no way in. It was you had to go through this guy to get out the barbershop. And he was kind of unhinged. He was just he clearly he was drunk. Clearly he had some mental health issues, but he had a gun in his hand and he was kind of like belligerent. And so I was just like, man, how am I gonna get out of this situation? I can't get through him because he's at the door and he's not like trying to let anybody out. And so it was a tense moment like that. And I just realized that the barbershop can sometimes be a dangerous place because like you don't know who's in there. You don't know who comes and goes. You don't know these people like that. You probably know them because you see them in the streets or you see them at the store, you see them at the local Walmart, but you don't really know what they are into. And but everybody knows where that barbershop is. And if it's the spot that's that hood type barbershop, like, okay, this is where my man's go to get his haircut. And so it's a target. You become a target. So you become kind of complacent with the barbershop, even though you just there to get a haircut.
No, no, you're right, man. You at the barbershop, man. You there, man. Especially if you're going to a barbershop you typically don't go to. Maybe you move to a new area, new area. You're looking around, man. Ain't nobody got their barber's license. I've said you see my man come back, dap some dude up. They go back there. They selling weed. The thing that the kicker sometimes would be, bro. Like you ever go to the barbershop, bro? You driving past, and it's like 2 p.m. 2 a.m., bro. And then the blinds is down, bro, and the lights is on.
Yeah.
Like, man,
Right.
it was like 5 cars there, bro. Like, what the heck is happening over here at the barbershop? And I'll be honest though, man. And I think I speak to a lot of dudes and I say this, man. If you were the worst thing about being in a barbershop is being enlightened on a conversation or on a topic that other people around you don't really know much about. So, for instance, you might be a basketball coach, you might be a assistant coach, high school coach. You play overseas for a little bit. You at the barbershop, and you hear them talk about basketball, and you don't say nothing because you know more. They may say, "Oh man, James Harden," and you might say, "No, man, what's happening right here? They're not getting enough spacing." Like you know it in and out, and sometimes you just got to shut the fuck up. I'm gonna have to break that out. You got to shut the fuck up because it's like they talking about politics, man, and like, bro, you study political science in school, man. You like, nah, man, this is what Putin is doing, man. Man, they like, nah, man, forget all that, bro. It's all a conspiracy on God. You like, man, you just shut up. You just shut up, man.
Right, right.
Coming for you, man. Nah, man. Technically, man, LeBron James is more confident than Kobe, man. Dudes be like, man, you don't know what you're talking about, man. So it just sometimes it's like if you really like an enlightened brother, it's not the kind of space where you can enlighten other brothers. Sometimes, it's just not. Sometimes it's not that kind of space.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you, man. And you gotta pick your barbershop wisely. And I've had to change multiple barbershops throughout the course of my life. And on the flip side of that, I'll share a little bit of my experience of the positive side of a barbershop. And this is why I feel like barbershops are necessary, the helpful side of barbershops. For me in particular, it was a place and space where men could be men. I mean, especially in this day and age, men, we have to kind of be PC in so many ways. We have to like kind of like, hide ourselves in a way. And sometimes, our counterparts, women, sometimes they don't quite understand some of our nature and how we talk and the male bravado and all that stuff. So for guys, this is a place where you can just be a dude and talk dude stuff and don't get judged for being a dude. And so I do like that aspect of the barbershop. What about you, Matt?
I think one of the things I really like about it, man, and I think it's also one of the things that's kind of, even though I'm bald now, man, it's kind of making me think about I want to grow my hair back. I really liked my barber, like James, man. Like, I mean, he was cutting my hair. I had braids back in '03. He cut my hair like he had been cutting my hair since I was like what 15 years old. So it's like, I remember James when he was my age. So now James is probably closer to like late 40s, early 50s, whatever now. So like they kind of know you, and then especially when you have a rapport, like, James always kind of looked out for me, man. If he knew I was gonna be, he'd wait a little 30 minutes afterwards. I make sure I tip him a little bit. You kind of get to know, especially if you have a consistent barber, you get to kind of know them, you get to kind of know their background, their stories. You watch them grow, they watch you kind of grow over time. It almost becomes like an extension. Like you come here, it's like a lot of memories, so I really kind of like that, because especially when you go to barbershops with older barbers, like you're old enough to be like an uncle or father. It's really, it can really be a good environment because they don't let it get too out of hand. I think for me, sometimes when I go to barbershops with a lot of younger people, those are more off the chain, so,
Yeah.
because you go to some barbershops, man, the music blasting, you know what I'm saying? You like the music blasting when you come in there.
Smell
He's like,
like weed.
yeah, yeah, yes,
Weed, music, weed, cussing, loudness. Yeah.
on the island.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So it's just like, and like, and it's just, but I kind of miss that. I miss that part, like just getting to know. And I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like you can speak on this, man. Some of the dudes would be funny, bro. Some of the dudes will come in, bro. You'd be like, you ever see dudes go at it and you don't want to laugh too hard because if you laugh too hard, my man gonna come at you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you kind of laugh, but like sometimes some dudes will be going in, bro. You just bust out laughing, man. So some of
No. No, you're right about that. I would also add to that the business side of the barbershop. I mean, for God's sakes, and I mean the inefficiencies in time, like Matt was saying earlier, like you could schedule your appointment and say, hey man, I got an appointment for 3 o'clock on Friday. And you expect when you get this 3 o'clock, you expect to be in the seat getting your hair cut. You may come in, your barber is still cutting somebody's hair, and he's just getting started on him. And you don't know all the back end. I mean, maybe the client came in late, you don't know. Or sometimes, you know, they're eating McDonald's. They're eating while they're supposed to be cutting your hair, or whatever they're doing. They're not even there. Sometimes they don't even show up, and so that could be really frustrating if you're a professional brother, and you got stuff to do. You got things to do. You don't have time to be just sitting in the barbershop. So that's one thing I don't like. That's not helpful because it's not a good use of your time. Also, just like having to, and in most cases for me, I have to go in the inner parts of the city to get my hair cut. And so that means I'm in a different environment that I'm accustomed to. I'm far removed from that environment. I used to be of that environment, but I'm far removed from that environment. But I don't like being in that element for long periods of time because I mean it's just by sheer probability, bro. Like it's you bound to drizzle on some way, shape, or form, bro. And I just want to keep myself in a position where it's like I'm not trying to like be a statistic or innocent bystander because somebody got mad and they wanted to shoot up something or mistaken identity and I my man thought that you was somebody that you wasn't. I just feel like you're more at risk at some of these barbershops. Not all of them, but some of them, because they don't have that professionalism. I mean, a lot of these guys are just they just put a shingle up and just say, hey, I'm Joe the barber, and it just doesn't go well for you.
No, I completely agree. I completely agree, man. Just in closing, I think the only thing that I would say, I think honestly, like the positive outweigh the negatives. And I think that what you said, Ivy, I think it's sometimes just the experience. And I think depending on where you go, what barbershop you go to, the owner of the barbershop, can really make a huge difference. Like I said, the customer experience and stuff like that. But I think overall it can be a positive experience. I mean, it just depends on where you go. What about you, man?
Yeah, I agree. I think the positives. definitely outweigh the negatives because I do believe barbershops. It's a place. It's a place where guys can just be guys, and I love that aspect of it. Also, love the aspect of it is that it's the one place, especially in the Black community, where Black dollars touch other Black dollars. Like I can transfer money from one Black hand to the next Black hand, and that's one area in our space that I think is a lot of room for growth and potential. And somebody's going to come in this space, and if they do it right, I think that it's potential to be a game changer. So I do see the upside in barbershops. They're always going to be needed. I don't know if you can automate haircuts. Maybe somebody may in the future do that, but I always foresee good craftsmen cutting hair. If you can cut hair really good and you got a good marketing plan and you're professional, you're timely, I think you got a lot of potential to really corner the market in this area. So all in all, I think barbershops can be helpful for on the business side. Also, it can be helpful on the user end side because you can have better experiences. You can have more influence in the community, and also you can have a place where guys can just be guys.
No, I completely agree. I completely agree. Well, I think it was good. Everybody was good. Talking to you as well, Ivory, and kind of sharing this stuff out. I didn't really have anything else. Anything else you want to share, Ivory?
No, other than that, we just glad to be able to offer these type conversations to be real and transparent, and just being able to just talk about our experiences. And I know a lot of people can relate to this video because you've been, if you watch this, you've probably been to a barbershop and you know how some of the helpful parts and the not helpful parts. But we just appreciate you guys for rocking with us. And hey, continue to like, share, subscribe to our channel, and spread the word. Spread the word to your friends, your family. You know a brother who could benefit from this content. Let them know, and we appreciate that much.
Take care, everybody.